You know, I'm not gonna lie, it's really weird doing this again. It's been like, what, a year or so since I streamed last, and I think that was the CDI stream. Probably, yeah, because it's about the time I want to say that's when I did the CDI stream when I was playing like Hotel Mario and the CDI Zelda games. But things are going to be a bit different going forward. As you can tell, I actually have a proper kind of stream intro, if you will. Welcome to the Dragon's Lair. These are the green triangles. The green triangles trying to hypnotize you. Yeah, they're new. And a lot of the stuff that you see here is kind of a placeholder to where I can get to a point to where I can be streaming a lot more consistently and I guess somewhat professionally, if you want to call my stuff professional at all. And if you do, what's wrong with you? There's also not going to be any co-commentators today. It's just going to be me because I'm trying out a new structure. I'm trying out new things to see which I click with best. So I'm going to do a solo stream. Going to play some video games. Mostly going to be focusing on Super Nintendo and stuff. So I'm just going to kind of pad out this intro, see if more people are going to be jumping in at now. I'm going to stop the whole like Konnichiwa Minasan, this is Chief Skarnek bit that I used to do with older streams and with my traditional edited videos on YouTube. But because that just made me sound like a stupid, crazy weeb. And I don't want to do that. We're not doing that anymore. So it's going to be a little more laid back. I'm not going to try and go too over the top. I mean, I just want to try and be me and down to earth as much as possible. Seeing in the chat here, hope you had a great macro March. It's been something. It's definitely been a month. I'm not sure whether or not it would be the greatest, but it was something. I've been spending about the last month or so just trying to get things ready for the stream. Because this was a stream I originally wanted to do on Mario Day, but due to certain circumstances at the time I wasn't able to. So here we are. We're here now, and we're gonna be playing some Mario is Missing on Super Nintendo. And if we have time, or depending on how the mood is, we'll probably switch over to Mario's Time Machine sometime. Or if not, then, I mean, we could just dive into the rest of my Super Nintendo library and pull something random out. It kind of depends on how the stream goes from here. And I do want to consistently keep streaming. I have a goal to try and at least do one stream every month, so this is going to be the March stream, and I have a stream planned for next month as well, and I don't know when that's going to be, but it's also going to depend on when a game comes in, but that's for another time though. For now, yeah, I'm just trying out new things and seeing what works for me, because this is kind of the structure I've kind of wanted to go for a while, just never really had a chance to. Also, in other news, how are you sharing the screen from the Super Nintendo? Capture card. I use an Elgato capture card, and you'll be seeing it on screen quite shortly. So I've been a bit busy for the last couple of months getting ready to stream again. I recently got myself a new webcam, which you cannot see because I am not in any position to actually show my real face right now on stream. But instead, you get my Pixelrel the Dargo One mic picture. That's what you get. That's all you get. And in addition to that, I also got my hands on a Stream Deck, so I now get to be able to play silly noises throughout streams. That's gonna be great. Good stuff. And what else do I got on here?
Hey, Stinky!
Yeah, that's gonna be for like new people coming in. So yeah, all you stinky.
Hey, Stinky!
Yep, that's gonna be great. Very, very good to use. What else I got? I got
Big money! Big prizes! I love it!
Yeah, I got it loaded with some just kind of some standard generic things that are very me, I must say, like this one from Wesker.
Incompetence surrounds me!
Thanks, Wesker. So yeah, things are kind of a placeholder right now. I know I've said that a lot, but this is just kind of the placeholder stream and kind of the precursor of things to come. So for now, I think without further ado, I think we're about ready to go and jump into some Mario is Missing. We're gonna stop the music for now, and with that, we are going to get started here. Alright, Mario is Missing is one of those games that practically every gamer YouTuber in like the mid to late 2000s had to comment on just because, oh, it's such a bad Mario game because it's educational. Yeah, a little timing on that, but that's another Stream Deck thing. But Mario is Missing was always a game that really fascinated me because I've always wanted to play like these games that people said were always very bad, and I wanted to give an honest look to them. And that's what we're doing here today. I originally wanted to do a full Let's Play, like a recorded Let's Play of this game, and basically go through the entire game, but I think it might be easier just to do it on stream. Mario is Missing is an educational game, and it focuses on geography. On the front of the box, I'm gonna have to pull it up again, it says a geography learning adventure. That's way cool, because learning is fun. This is the title screen. We have two options. We can either search for Mario or we can continue our search. This is where you put in a password that you get throughout the game, just to start where you left off. We're going to start a new game. We're going to search for Mario. Now, I have not played this game to completion, but I've played enough of it to get a good idea of how the game works. So, obviously, you play as Luigi. This is a game where you're actually trying to save Mario. This is before Luigi's Mansion. This game was not necessarily made by Nintendo. It was made by Softpipeworks or something. Softworks or something. It was at the top. It was on the splash screen earlier. It plays not like Mario World at all, despite what it looks like. Mario is Missing is split into 3 sections. There's 3 floors of the castle that you're trying to get through. Every floor has 5 doors. Each door takes you to a different part of the world. And we're going to find out what's behind door number 1, shall we? We're going to dive right on in. Alright, we're going to town, and it is run by Koopa Troopas. Standard Mario rules apply here. You jump on Koopas, you kill them. You jump on people, you don't kill them. Although there are NPCs that you can interact with. Enemies cannot hurt you. Pokey coming out of the pipe means that you cannot leave. So you are stuck here until you complete all the objectives in this world. If you go to the pause menu, we have Artifact, Computer, Globulator, City Map, and Photo Album. Oh hey Sadi, what's up?
Hey, Stinky!
Yeah, that's right. Mario says you're stinky. I have a couple of degrees in geography, yet I became a factory worker. Yeah, I kind of get that feel. I don't have a degree, but I've always been like a big geography nerd, so this is definitely a game for me. Artifacts will come into play later as we play through each stage. Computer is shows you all this. This is just kind of a graph here. The things on the left are actually your artifacts that you need to find. On top are like 5 NPCs that you need to talk with. I don't really know the point of it, but as you go through the town, it's going to fill up more and more, but I've never really paid attention to it much. You go to Globulator. I said if you go to Globulator, we started off as Yoshi in Antarctica, and we could just go globetrotting. Since this game is supposed to take place in the real world, Yoshi's just walking all over the map, so there's your Macro March stuff for today. the point of Yoshi is to get him to where you think where in the world you are. Because we're not quite sure yet. We're not going to do that quite yet. If you go to City Map, this gives you a map of the entire city, obviously. It shows you all the Koopa Troopas and the NPCs available to kill and to talk to. The eyes are the information kiosks. We'll get to those later. And the photo album is also something we'll get to later. But for now, when in doubt, I said when in doubt, the jumping is a little awkward in this game. It's not as fluid and you don't get as much momentum as you do in Mario World and other games, but sometimes the Koopas have some really weird death animations, so we just shot that guy up to the moon, and he drops whatever this is. Now if we open up the menu, we have an artifact, and it's an arrow of sorts. Wonder what that could be. Maybe Mr. EGAD, before EGAD can tell us. Where am I? This city was built on 7 hills. In 753 BC, it was home to Caesar, the original Italian stallion. Oh, so we're in France. Got it, okay. Cool, thanks. Caesar's French, right?
Incompetence surrounds me!
Yeah, sorry, Wesker. Hold down Y, you can run really fast. But there's no momentum dead gain. Don't really jump any higher, so it kind of goes against every bit of your Mario instincts. The goal is to try to kill all the Koopa Troopas and return all the artifacts. But first we need to find out where exactly we are. So let's go down the street here. Another death, another explosion, another whatever this is. Yes, exactly. Whatever that is. Now, if you watch Angry Video Game Nerd, he made this comment where you can't talk to the woman at the reception desk, except you can in this one, because this is the Super Nintendo version. So she is the person who is basically the tourist guide for several of these destinations in said cities. Here we're at the Trevi Fountain, and legend says that if a visitor tosses coins over his shoulder into the Trevi Fountain, he will one day return to Rome. The Trevi Fountain is one of the best known landmarks in Rome because of its fable, but also because of its fancy carvings. The fountain was shown in the 1954 movie 3 Coins in the Fountain. Isn't that just so exciting? But wait, what's that we got there? We got like American quarters. So that can't be that, because this ain't America. Well, okay. Well, I guess we'll just have to keep looking around. Bye, Peach lookalike. Got an NPC, we got another Koopa. Stop this kid. Hey kid, where am I? You could try roaming around to figure it out. Okay. Well, I think it's pretty obvious where we are, so let's call Yoshi over. Making his way all around the world. I did not notice that. There's a... when you go to Europe, the map kind of condenses, or rather expands. Yes, a bad pun. Game should be punished. Alright, let's actually just do the game proper. Let's go to Rome. And now Yoshi's with us. Now we can do the exact same things we were able to do before. I hope you weren't expecting much. We can't eat things, but we can still stomp on things. Which we're very known for. Which we're known for very much over on this channel. But another thing that this game has that Mario World doesn't is that you have multiple perspectives of the Yoshi sprites. Ever wanted to see Yoshi sprite head on? Well, there you go. I'm gonna open the map. Where are we at? The map can be a little confusing to understand at first, but basically all the streets are just within the horizontals. The verticals are when you like run down the street or run down the sidewalk. So there's going to be a thing to put in artifact. Oh, actually, you know what? I totally forgot to do something. Hold on. So we're going to do something a little interesting here on the stream. We're actually going to revive a really bad old meme, actually. So I hope you guys don't mind, but I invited like a little friend up here. Don't mind him. He's just slowly, just silently observing, judging your sins. Why is the Sistine Chapel closed today? Like the sign says, bud, the Sistine Chapel ceiling was stolen, and we can't reopen until it gets returned. Here is a pamphlet with more information. Pay attention, guys, because this will be on the test. In 1508, Pope Julius II commissioned the artist Michelangelo to decorate the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican. He wasn't used to painting on plaster. It took Michelangelo over 4 years to finish the painting. painting the 10,000 square foot ceiling. Much of the painting had to be done in an uncomfortable position. The artist was either lying on wooden scaffolds or looking straight up. The chapel ceiling is breathtakingly beautiful. It is considered Michelangelo's masterpiece. So they didn't get away with like the roof of the whole chapel. Just a ceiling, just the paints. That's all. God, I don't know. You figure out the logic yourself. I don't know, man. I don't think American quarters belong on the ceiling. Where are we going? In traditional Mario fashion, there are warp pipes that they take you to different parts of the city. And now where are we at? A place I do not need to be. Which one was this? Oh, it's a Trevi Fountain. Alright, let's just might as well just continue with returning the coins from the Trevi Fountain. Okay, but you'll have to prove your goods by authentic by answering a few questions. See, I told you guys this would be on the test. The Trevi Fountain is the biggest and oldest blank in Rome. Well, Rome doesn't even have an amusement park, so that's off the list. Fountain. Add your 2 cents, Luigi. Why do people throw coins? To return to Rome. At last, according to the Trevi Fountain, we've been looking all over town. The mayor has authorized me to present you with this $1,500 reward. Thank you, and good luck finding Mario. This game's map seems to be very big. Yeah, try 15 of them. So now we can go into the thing and take a picture with the Trevi Fountain. I'm gonna move Raleigh up here for a second so you can see Luigi's awkward deer in the headlights stare at you. So hope you're okay with that. So now if we go back to the menu and go to the photo album, we can have Luigi look at us awkwardly all we want now. At any time, at any given time. Alright, where are we at? Alright, I'm gonna go to the far north. I say you can kill all the Koopa Troopas, but only 3 of them actually have the items that you need. The problem with the navigation is that you have to keep going to the map because it's always really confusing as to where where you are, because the city looks exactly the same on every plane. Where am I? I like pizza. I like pasta. Ciao, baby. I'll see you. Excuse me, I'm Italian. I take offense to that. Says Luigi, who doesn't even know what Italy is. 2 thumbs up in Latin Manhattan's most famous arena. That's a gladiator harpoon if you've got there. So that's what that was. I knew what it was. I'm not that stupid. Alright, so you can also kind of tell next to every blue eye, there's like a little bit of a marker that's supposed to indicate what the landmark is. But before we go ahead and start returning stuff, I'm going to go ahead and try to find all the Koopas just to make sure I have all the artifacts on me. Yeah, and this game also promotes road safety, so you're not supposed to walk on the road. You have to be on the sidewalk because Nintendo and Luigi cares about your safety. Yeah, some of these death animations are pretty violent, honestly. Let's take that up. What do we got? We got a naked dude. Awesome. That's good for the kiddies. Get in there. Alright. Where'd you spit me out? Oh, I'm down there. I'm smart, I swear. Hey, you, talk to me. Hey, officer? Officer, officer. Where am I? Your capital is now Lyra in this capital city. Just do as the Romans do. Okay, bye. In fact, I'm gonna check the computer real quick. You get check marks depending on who you talk to. You can also talk to people specifically about each individual item, but that kind of takes forever, and I don't even think it matters that much. So we're going to disregard that. Alright, there's a number of things we can do here. Why is the Colosseum closed today? Like the sign says, but the gladiator spear was stolen and we can't reopen it until it gets returned. Here's a pamphlet with more information. The Colosseum was rebuilt in AD 72 at the command of an important Roman emperor. The name comes from the Latin word meaning big. And it really is huge. 573 yards in circumference, the Colosseum spread over 50,000 spectators. The rules and public came for the arena each week to watch games of strength and entertainment. The games they watched were often very violent, with gladiators sent to fight riveting foes like hungry lions and elephants. Again, you know, for kids. So you got all that? Oh yeah, that's right, because the game wants you to return things in a specific order. I can't choose to go return the gladiator spear because it's going to default to the Sistine Chapel building, so I guess we gotta go there first. It's a very picky game. Have I talked to you yet? You're on a boot-shaped peninsula in southern Europe, somewhere in the Mediterranean. Man, where's like Max Draghi when you need him? Things were different for kids in the 90s. Yeah, and I guess geography and history lessons are also totally for kids. Alright, there's one Koopa on this map here. I do not know how I did that. I did not deserve that, but I'll take it anyway. Okay. No. 2 streets down. Alright, class, time for test. Sure, you'll have to prove your goods are authentic by answering a few questions. Who is the pig? Let's make this picture perfect. Who painted the ceiling? And I freaking love who wrote this because you can understand the reference yourself. And I love how Splinter is an option. I guess Raphael just kind of got the short end of the stick on this one. What does the Sistine Chapel mean in Latin? I got it wrong. I'm sorry, I'm too busy to talk now. Come back a little later. So if you fail the test, you actually have to wait a bit before you get another chance to try again. Usually when you leave the map and come back, they'll let you. Yes, kid, what's this? The artist stood on a scaffold for over 4 years. Mom won't let me draw on the walls for even 5 minutes. Alright, I guess we gotta study a little bit more. Yeah, so some of the clues that you need in order to solve some of the, or at least to answer some of the questions, you'd get by talking to NPCs. But that adds more to it. I want to return to Sistine Chapel ceiling. Sure, ask away. What does Sistine mean in Latin? Victor is saying 6. Where is the Sistine Chapel located? It is in the Vatican. At last, the Sistine Chapel building. We've been looking all over town. The mayor was authorized to present you with this $900 reward. Thank you, and good luck finding Mario. I'm sorry, I don't speak Italian or Latin. Can I go into the thing? There we go. So there's your nice 16-bit rendition of the Sistine Chapel building, the creation of man painting. So that's pretty cool. Luigi really likes that. He's really into that. We gotta go back to the Colosseum. Okay. Oh, hold on. We gotta do this. If only you could get me faster there. Hi there. I want to return the Gladiator Spear. How many people could fit in this place? That'd be 50,000. When was Colosseum built? 72 AD? At last, the Gladiator Spear. Presenting you with this $2,000 reward. I think these things are worth more than what they're actually giving me, but okay. And there's your 16-bit Colosseum. And another Luigi's there. You know, if I make this into an edited video and put on YouTube, I'm gonna have this be the thumbnail. Or at least include the deadpan Luigi stare. And with that, what else do we need to do here? I think we're about done here, for the most part. We got all the artifacts back, we got some pictures. I hope you guys enjoyed our little trip to Rome. Because now we gotta get out of here. Or at least it should let us get out of here. When you're done, you return back to the blue pipe from which you came. Go back through, and the city is secured. And you get a password, and if you come back later to the game, punch that in, and you'll just continue where you left off. So that's one down. We still got 14 to do. So, as you can probably guess, at the end of each floor, when we complete all the cities, we get to fight a boss. But that's gonna have to wait. Let's go to the next city. Wow, I have no idea where we are, guys. I think this might take us a while to figure out. Let's go down the pipe. Maybe this will show us the way. Hello, the same NPC from before. Talk to me. The game's very picky on where you have to be in order to talk to people. It doesn't help that they keep moving either. Where am I? The Chinese can boast. They're on the Pacific's west coast. That poor Koopa. He was just trying to just steal something. But no, he has to be reduced to dust now because geography is important. This city is a lot more grid-like, and it's a little more easy. It's a little easier to navigate. But we still got a lot of ground to cover, so let's leave the menu first of all. I'm not gonna do that every time, by the way. But hey, I got a Stream Deck. I gotta make good use of it somehow. Where am It is now called the People's Republic of China. What was it used to be called then? Why is the Great Wall of China closed today? I want to return the Gate of Heavenly Peace. The stone from the Great Wall was stolen, and we can't open it until it's reopened until it's returned. Here's a pamphlet for more information. So just a stone, just a random stone from the Great Wall is stolen, is gone, and now it's closed to the public because that makes sense. One of the world's 7 great wonders, the Great Wall is the only man-made object visible from outer space. I think that's changed since. The Chinese poetically call it the Long Wall of 10,000 li. It is said that over 300,000 men labored for 10 years to complete its 3,946 miles. That's probably going to be an important number. Begun in the 5th century BC, its purpose was to keep northern tribes from attacking southern states. The wall was built wide enough to allow a team of 5 horses to run side by side along its top surface. Again, guys, it's going to be on the test. Hope you guys are paying attention. I'm trying to educate you. In the meantime, where are we going? There's a kid here, and that's about all we can really do here for now. No, in fact, we already talked to the kid, so let's just move on. Must be a very important stone. Dude, it totally is, man. I mean, out of all the millions they have there, that must have been the one. The most important, clearly. But at the same time, knowing China, I wouldn't be shocked. Alright, let's run down here, kill some things. Talk to police officers. Where am I? You're on Chang'an Avenue, Beijing's main street. Hey, wait, I'm not done with you. What is this? That's the Gate of Heavenly Peace. Put it back in Tiananmen Square. You know, I can make several things that would probably get me barred from China, but, I don't know, man, because when people say that something bad happened there in June of 1989, I mean, it's all just speculation. I mean, who knows what happens there? I might have to show you guys that sometime. I don't know if any of you guys have read any of the Google reviews for Tiananmen Square. It's freaking hilarious. I'm half tempted to read some of them on stream just because a lot of them are pretty great and it's pretty relevant to what we're doing in this game. Well, relevant, but just in terms of location, not necessarily events. I just want to count that as just as controversial. There we go. That's a bouncy one. Very bouncy one. Shot into the moon. What do we got here? We got a thing. Looks like a vault door. Looks like we'll have to ask around and find out what it is. Are we done here? We are done here. Let us move south. Why is the Forbidden City closed today? Like the sign says, but the Gate of Heavenly Peace was stolen and we can't reopen it until it's returned. Here's a pamphlet with more information. The Forbidden City, the gateway of Heavenly Peace, Tiananmen, was built in AD 1651. An impressive 110 feet tall Heavenly Peace is the main entrance to the Forbidden City, which has been renamed to Palace Museum. Once the wall of state of emperors, only the emperor himself is permitted to use Tiananmen. Guards kept everyone else out. Oh boy, did they. Those entitled to visit the city had to use a separate entry. In 1949, the leader Mao Zedong stood at the gate to announce the formation of the People's Republic of China, the present-day communist government. Yeah, nothing like talking about the communist regime in China and Mao Zedong in a Mario game. Thanks, game. I want to return the Hall of Good Harvest. I have the gates. Let me return the bloody gate. This game is incredibly picky. There's an NPC here. Hi, what's this? The Good Harvest Hall, the most famous shrine of all. Dates from the 15th century. Cool, I guess. I mean, okay, while we're here, let's summon Yoshi. Alright, Yoshi, let's go for a ride. I'm not done with you yet, pal. Beijing is the largest city in the country, covering 6,486 square miles. I think Shanghai would like to have a word with you. At least I'm pretty sure Shanghai is bigger. Okay, the gate is like way the frack down there, so let's head south. Oh my god. Thank you. Where am I? Its capital, Beijing, used to be called Peking. Stop hitting start, Shisa. Hey, random dude. Where am I? Peeking to my guidebook, I see I'll need chopsticks and a pocket full of yuan. Excuse my Mandarin. I'm sorry, what was that? Looks like like the sign says, but the Hall of Good Harvest was stolen and we can't reopen it until it's returned. Here's a pamphlet for more information. Oh, hello on average Joe.
Hey, Stinky!
Mario says you're stinky. The Temple of Heaven. Tiantan, the Temple of Heaven, is China's most famous temple. It consists of several buildings built around the 15th century, all set inside a walled park. The Hall of Good Harvest, the most well-known of the park's buildings, is set on top of a triple tier of marble terraces. Each carved terrace has its own balcony. The 120-foot high structure is amazing because it was built without one single nail. The Emperor of China would spend one evening a year in temple, fasting and praying to assure a good harvest. Stop opening the menu, Shiza. I want to return to Hall of Good Harvest. Alright, test time. What did the Emperor do here once a night? Had a slumber party! Held a great feast. About how high is the Hall of Good Harvest? 123 feet. At last, the Hall of Good Harvest. We've been looking all over town. The mayor is authorized to present you with this 1610 reward. Thank you, and good luck finding Mario. Alright, let's get a picture. Let's get another awkward Luigi stare. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. 1 of 3 done. Where are we going now? We're going north 1. Stop honking at me. Let me mind my own business. You can speed up the jump as well. When you hold the run button when you're jumping, you can like jump forward. You stinked!
Hey, Stinky!
That's what I have to say about that. One more. No. Leave? Leave. I'm always so used to just pressing B to exit menus. But B is also the select button in the menus. Alright, we got a stick of butter. Good job, Koopa. You stole some butter. That'll show them Chinese. And now watch. We're going to go all the way over here. And I want to return the stone from the Great Wall to the Forbidden City. Because the game is picky. So let's plan out a route here. Go down 2 streets. Stop honking at me. Let's go north. This game is crazy unique. It's something. It's, I'm not sure if unique would be the first word I would use to describe it. I want to return the stone from the Great Wall. Okay, but you have to prove your goods are authentic by answering a few questions. I can read, I swear. How long is the Great Wall? Probably the very specific number. When did the building of the wall begin? I believe that was 5th century? Yes. Alright, let's go take a picture with the wall. Get another Luigi stare. I mean, I know it, like, you know, Mario's captured and we have to go save him, but you know what? But Luigi needs all of this tourism. Like, I mean, he deserves this, honestly. What do we got? What's next? I think that all that's left is to do Tiananmen, and we think we're good. So 1, 2, 3. Going this way. Also, holy crap, am I that delayed? Okay, hold on a moment. I want to check something. Oh, I'm not terribly delayed. It's not too bad. I can live with that. Lots of running. Lots of running. That's why I got the dinosaur. Did I misjudge? Oh, one more. Alright, let's try this now. One touch about this game I do like is that the background music is... It's basically that song from Mario World, but it's kind of done in... an instrument that kind of coincides with the country that you're in. So that's a nice touch, if nothing else. I want to return the Gate of Heavenly Peace. Who couldn't enter the Forbidden Gate through the Forbidden City through the Heavenly Gate? Everyone but the Emperor. What is the Forbidden City's present name? The Taboo Town. Tiananmen. Another. What? Okay, looks like we gotta do more studying. Why choose this game for today? You know, I wanted to do this for Mario Day originally, but I just wasn't able to. So, this is kind of a late stream for that. And also because I just kind of wanted to play through the game in full on camera. Because I'm not entirely sure how many people have actually seen the full game. Which has been renamed to the Palace Museum. Okay. You gotta do Mario Galaxy for Mario Day. Oh, it's a little too late for that, pal. The present name is Palace Museum. Who built the Heavenly Gate? I'm just running in shame. Just running in shame. Should have known. Not everything is a joke about Mao, Chief. Come on. It's probably something that one of the NPCs tell me. Who Who built the Heavenly Gates? I believe that was Mao Zedong? No, to think. Looks like we gotta talk to an NPC to know that one. That's the Gate of Heavenly Peace. Put it back on Tiananmen Square. You know, I'm trying. And as you can also tell, the questions that it asks you are randomized. So sometimes you can just get really lucky and just get at questions that you already know. Like that. So don't have to worry about that question. I don't have to know. So now we got that done. Are there any Koopas left on the map? No, sir. So we are going to go down 2 streets, south 2, and then to the blue pipe, and we're getting out of here. Just use Mario's time machine. You know, that's probably the other game we're going to be playing, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to because that game's just miserable. Alright, we are done. We are done with Beijing, China. Skip that. Alright, 2 down, 3 to go for this floor. Next up. Alright, we are in the jungle, kind of looks like. Hi. A landmark right off the bat. Why is Maasai village closed today? I apologize for any mispronunciation I say. I don't speak every language in the world. Like the sign says, but the Maasai headdress was stolen and we can't reopen until it gets returned. Here's a pamphlet for more information. Of more than 70 tribes in Africa, none are more visually well known as the Maasai. Their lives revolve around their cattle and their money they make from trading herds. But the Maasai are also famous warriors. When the male Maasai reaches the age of 15, he is initiated into the warrior group. He dyes his skin a distinctive reddish-orange with pastes from the ochre plant. His hair is tightly braided and then it is too covered with the ochre paste. As young warriors, the boys hunt with blunted arrows. Small birds are their first prey. As a reward, the birds are stuffed and tied around the frame which they wear as headdresses. Okay. We got like a dead bird to find. Let's go. This one's a little more straightforward than Beijing, I will say. I also like how one of the landmarks is legit just like a skull. It's probably important. I'm going to move down Raleigh just to kind of show that there. I know that's supposed to be like a zebra or something, but it looks like a carcass. And not trying to offend anyone as well, so don't try to take it that way at all. If anything, it would just be ignorance. Hey kid, talk to me. Where am I? I'm not a debater, but I think it's greater than that. It's greater that this African country is split by the equator. Yeah, because that narrows it down. There's like 3 other countries in Africa that have that are like that. I think that's it down here. Let's head down. Graveyard. An elephant graveyard is where elephants go to die. You know, if I could find myself a copy and actually find a way to be able to stream the Lion King interactive storybook, I totally would. Alright, let's violently kill a Koopa and let's pick up a skull. Yeah, I'm just gonna run away now. That's great. That was not something I meant to do. Get back here, lady. I'm not done with you. Come here. Talk to me! Is Africa your cup of tea? Because Kenya is the world's 3rd largest producer, just between you and me. Okay, but what am I holding? What am I holding? Okay, head to the museum and label that skull Homo habilis. I'm impressed with the streaming good quality. You know, I'm impressed that you're actually impressed by that, because this really isn't the best kind of streaming quality. Let's open the map again. Move Raleigh up a bit. We are done here, but let's head down the pipe. Where did it spit us out? Down there. We got a number of excuse me, a number of things to do here. Like talking to police officers who don't want to talk to us. Where am I? You won't find Adobe here in Nairobi, but they do have some spectacular hotels. Was Adobe a thing back then? Okay. Well, now that we know where we actually are, let's call Yoshi, shall we? Nope, nope, we're done. Nope, we're here. Yoshi, we're here. Thank you. Pew! What's this? The Elephant Graveyard. Why is the Nairobi National Park closed today? The baby elephant was stolen, and we can't reopen it until it gets returned. Here's a panel with more information. A mere 8 miles from the contemporary city of Nairobi is the Authentic Wildlife Preserve. The park's trails open onto the undisturbed Kitengela Athi Plains to allow the animals to follow ancient migratory paths. The park is full of lions, cheetahs, rhinos, antelopes, and many other species. Since the park is completely undeveloped, it provides an amazing drive-through for safari in the shadow of a modern, teeming capital city. I want to return the baby elephant, because why steal the baby elephant? Why would you do that? The Nairobi National Park is also an animal preserve. The safari park is important because it allows animals to vote. I mean, I gotta love some of these wrong answers, because you can tell that, you can tell that they actually had fun with them. At last, the baby elephants. We've been looking all over town. The mayor's authorized to award you with $2,400. That's not an elephant. You lied to me. Let's move Raleigh back up so Luigi can stare into your soul again. I talked to you, right? I did. And I should be done here. Let's go to the road. Let's head south. Running, running, running. Getting honked at. There's one. What's this? That is probably the headdress. But the skull is also on this road too, so let's head down there. Yep, the headdress. So I gotta go back to the other place first. And that is 2 streets down. Where am I? I climbed Everest and Fuji, and now I'll have to climb Mount Kenya just to keep my reputation up. I mean, I've heard of Kilimanjaro, which is the actual tallest mountain in Africa, but okay. Where am I? Oh yeah, that's right. Now this should be the road with the... yes. And... gotta do that every now and then. Just keep it fresh. talk to me. I want to return the Maasai headdress. The Maasai make a living from what animals? Cattle. What does the Maasai warrior use to dye his skin red? Ochre paste. If that's how it's pronounced. I left the Maasai headdress. We got $2,400 for that. And now we just got the skull. Let's make our way down there. Come on, I saw a Koopa on this road. Where is it? No, I did not. I lied to you. Or rather, the game lied to me. Or rather, I just wasn't paying attention. Probably the latter. That makes sense. Oh my gosh. Start. I'm sorry. It keeps going against my natural Mario instincts. Why is the National Museum of Kenya closed today? Like the sign says, but the human skull was stolen, and we can't reopen until it gets returned. Here's a pamphlet with more information. Anthropologists believe Kenya to be the birthplace of all mankind. Scientists working there have dug up some of the oldest human fossils ever found. One skull found near Lake Turkana is said to be almost 3 million years old. The plains of East Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, and Ethiopia are being eagerly excavated to try and solve the mystery of where human beings first lived. Well, I want to return the human skull. I don't want to carry this around with me anymore. Anthropologists think Kenya may be the birthplace of mankind. Why? Very old human dinosaur bones, leftover birthday cake. Again, like, okay. How old is the skull that you're holding? 3? Way old!
Big money! Big prizes! I love it!
So, yeah. This is a nice image. In fact, I think I might have this be the thumbnail if I ever edit this video and put it on YouTube. Because it's just great. Just Luigi next to, like, 16-bit human skull. You know, this game's a lot darker than I originally gave it credit for. Holy crap. Alright, there's one more Koopa down there, and we are gonna head out. Alright, where's the pipe? 1, 2, all the way to the... Okay. Stop it. 1. A 2. And then we run like mad. City secured. Passport that we don't care about. 2 more doors for floor 1. We're doing great, guys. Sure hope you guys are still keeping notes on our visits from Rome and Beijing, because next up is... I don't actually remember what the city is. Oh, okay. I wonder where we are now. There's a lot of Koopas to kill. Whee! Shoot into space. What do we got? Big ol' cannon. Why is the Kremlin closed today? Like the sign says, but the cannonball from the Emperor's cannon was stolen and we can't reopen until it gets returned. Here's a pamphlet with more information. So I'm not sure how timely this part of the game is. The Emperor's cannon in the Kremlin is known in Russian as Tsar Pushka. It is the biggest cannon in the world with a caliber of 35 inches. Its barrel is 17.5 feet long. The cannon was cast in 1586 by Andrei Shkolkov. I can't speak Russian, sorry. And weighs a total of 40 tons. The barrel is a likeness to Tsar Fyodor Ivanovich. Boy. You know, I had the idea of playing like a very memey song for this stage, but I'm gonna try and not get copyright stricken because I don't want to get copyright stricken like right when I'm coming back to streaming. Lady. From Moscow, you can ride the Trans-Siberian Railway 58 miles through 2 continents. How bad's the map? Not terrible, but might be a bit annoying to navigate. Crushing him to dust. Why is the Bolshoi Ballet closed today? I want to return the Bolshoi Ballet slipper. That sign says, but the Bolshoi Ballet slipper was stolen. We can't reopen it until it gets returned. Russian dance companies are accepted stars of 20th century ballet. No troupe is more famous than the Bolshoi Ballet Company, founded in 1776. Alexander Gorsky, director of the Bolshoi until 1924, is one of the most important people in the ballet world. It is said he made dances more interesting to modern audiences by introducing the idea of realism into choreography and scenery. The Bolshoi Theater was built in 1856 and seats 2,000 ballet fans. Well, convenient because I just found it right in front of you. Bolshoi is a city, a ballet troupe, and a theater. The Bolshoi Theater shows first-run movies. You say it sells out at every show? At last! Beautiful, yes. Very good. Let's call Yoshi. No. We are in Moscow, and I'm going to try and avoid referencing current events while in this stage, for obvious reasons. We try to keep kosher here on the Chief Scarneck channel. Mister? Where am I? 100 kopecks to each ruble is the rule. All Russian school children learn that in school. I could also make a comment about the ruble, but again, might not be the most timed thing to say. I think there's one more Koopa down here. Nope, that's it. Okay. Let's go to south. Still got a big old cannon to put somewhere. And I think I have a feeling I know what that is. Why is the Kremlin close to there? I want to return the Cathedral Dome. No, because the Cathedral Dome goes to St. Basil's. Welcome to the home of the world's largest department store. Its Cyrillic initials spell out gum. Yes, because, you know, kids are going to know what that is. So I guess I gotta go up here first. Running. The Cathedral Dome was stolen and we can't reopen until its return. Here's the pamphlets. St. Basil's Cathedral. This strange and wonderful church was built in 1555 by Duke Ivan III. Known as Ivan the Terrible, he ordered the church built to honor the Holy Fool Saint Basil. Holy Fool is the name of the saint in Russia. The famous onion domes were added later in the 16th century. Although the church appears to have no real design, the building is carefully built with one large chapel surrounded by 8 dome-topped chapels. Every room is painted in different patterns and colors. No, I don't want to do that. I want to return the dome. Holy Fool means saint in Russian, because Russian is weird. Who ordered the church built? Ivan the Terrible. At last. The thing. And now we take picture. And now we leave. And now we talk to the police. Where am I? USSR, Russia, Soviet Union. When Pushkin comes to shove, Moscow is the place to... I'm getting really sick of your puns, game. Where am I going? I'm gonna go down south a bit. I'm confused. One quarter of this country is in Europe and the rest is in Asia. Again, I apologize for going to the map so often. It's just, you know, you can never be sure what's this game's navigation. Where am I? Alrighty then. Down 2 and then all the way over. Yeah, that's all cool and all, but I have your bloody cannon. What image appears on the cannon? That was Ivanovich. It is the heaviest, oldest, biggest. I think it's the heaviest. Nope. Nope. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. Kid, I'm a fool. The world's biggest cannon. Thanks, kid. Thanks for knowing more than me. Go off screen. We're gonna come back. Keep pressing the wrong button. The Kremlin. Yes, that's definitely the best place to take a picture right now. Good job, Luigi. Proud of you. Let's get out of here. Alright, we're done with Russia. Alright, one more floor, one more door left to go on floor 1. In just a minute, I'm gonna check something. Alright guys, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna do this last stage, and then we're actually gonna swap over to something different. I feel like I need to play something a little more stimulating if I want to keep playing this game. So we're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish off this floor, and then I feel like we're gonna jump to something else. Just for now, just temporarily, and then we'll get back into it. So let's head to the last city for now. To be more specific, you're on the Pacific in the northern half of California. Good to know, because that's totally where I want to be right now. Why is the Golden Gate Bridge closed today? Like the sign says, but the Golden Gate Bridge foghorn was stolen. We can't reopen it until it gets returned. Here's a pamphlet. Although it's more of an orange color than its name suggests, the Golden Gate might be the world's most famous bridge. It was built in 1937 and took over 4 years to complete. It is 4,200 feet long. The main cables are 36.5 inches in diameter and were designed to withstand winds up to 100 miles an hour. Because the Golden Gate Bridge is covered in fog most days, it is equipped with enormous fog horns. That's for you, Matt. In the very middle, the bridge is 260 feet above the bay, just tall enough for Navy battleships to pass underneath. And also for other stuff, but we don't talk about that. Alright, everyone, welcome to... You guys probably know where we're at. Probably the city that's destroyed most in movies besides New York. We got a lot of ground to cover, so let's waste no time. Let's get going. And get honked at. And I got some frames dropping. That's always fun. Hey, lady, where am I? Lady, where am I? If you're wandering around in the fog and feeling crabby, have some Dungus grab. I'm not from Cali. I don't know how these things are said. On San Francisco sourdough. Cool. That was kind of cool, actually. Alright, Yoshi. Let's go for a ride. Maybe I went to the correct place. That would help. Let's go to San Francisco. Okay. Let's head up here. We're going to go to our next landmark. Why is the Coit Tower closed today? Like the sign says about the Coit Tower, the window from the Coit Tower has been stolen. The Coit Tower says 500 feet above San Francisco Bay on top of Telegraph Hill. The structure takes on its name from Lillian Hitchcock Coit, who donated $125,000 to have it built in 1934. The tower honors the San Francisco Fire Brigade. She had a tall column. It is easy to see why people constantly remark it as resembles a fire hose. Inside the tower is decorated with 16 large murals. 25 artists were commissioned as part of the Make Work program designed to ease financial hardships during the Great Depression. Did you get all that? Because I didn't. Okay, we still got stuff to kill. So, people always say like this game is really bad just because, oh, how dare they like make a Mario game educational? But well, not really. That's not even the main problem with the game. The main problem with the game is that it's just kind of boring. Because it's just the same thing over and over again. I mean, that's really the main problem with the game. It has nothing really to do with the fact that it's a Mario educational game. It's just the fact that you're doing the same thing over and over again. And it's one of the reasons why I was a little hesitant to do this game in the first place. But hey, I wanted to see how it wins. There we go, we got something. That, I believe, is the Coit Tower window. Hey you, pal. Talk to me. California, here I am on the West Coast with Uncle Sam. Very well. Whoa, another one. Freaking launched me over there. Would help if I actually picked up the bloody thing. Okay, shark pointy thing, let's go. I think that's all the Koopas on this street. Let's head down this way. One NPC here. Where am I? The city was named for Saint Francis of Assisi in 1776. Good for him. Yeah, I still love Sonic Unleashed better as a geographical education game. You know, there's a joke in that, and I'm not sure what the joke is because I never played Sonic Unleashed. Why is the Transamerica building closed today? Like the sign says, but the top of the Transamerica building was stolen and we can't reopen it until it's returned. The Transamerica Pyramid on Columbus Avenue in downtown San Francisco was built in 1972. I can read numbers, I swear. It has become a landmark due to its unusual shape. Standing 853 feet tall, the pyramid is said to have changed the distinct shape of the city skyline. San Francisco is very susceptible to earthquakes, so the pyramid was built with a flexible concrete base, which makes it one of the most earthquake-proof of all of San Francisco skyscrapers. Alright, let's return it. Transamerica building is earthquake-proof due to its concrete base. Transamerica building was completed in 1972? Yep. And we've got the Transamerica building, recently most notably known for being one of the sites filmed during the Sonic movie. Speaking of, the sequel's coming out, and that's going to be something. You know what? I have to think. Let's go down to the Coit Tower and just drop that off. What hill does the Coit Tower stand on? It stands on Telegraph Hill. It's built to honor the fire brigade. The Coit Tower. Or Awkward Luigi Stare. Alright, we now are going 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left and then 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah. Hi, kid. July 4th is the most important date when you're in the land of the 50 states. Whee! Well, that's kind of debatable nowadays. Alright, we got ourselves a big ol' horn. Let's head down. Because I think that's all the Koopas. And yeah. Let's head over to the left and then all the way up. And then we are going to be taking a break from Mario Was Missing because we've been going for about an hour on this game already. Orange, and it connects San Francisco to Marin County, I believe. Yes. In the door. Get in the door. Get in the door. Jesus. Good. Great. Good picture, Luigi. Proud of you. Let's leave. City secured. There's our password. We're actually going to need that password because we are going to be leaving the game and coming back to it later. Just gonna... What am I doing? I'm on a computer. I can type stuff. Okay, got our password. Let's go. And now that the first floor is complete, that means Ludwig's out come to play. What do? You should probably know this by now. He is a little speedy. But since you can't really die in this game, it's not really, you know, there's not really any bad way to do the fight. Aside from just doing it. At least I'm pretty sure. The game doesn't give you really any other help or hints otherwise as to what to do. There we go. And with that... There we go. Now we can move on to the second floor with more doors. But, like I said, we are going to be taking a break from Mario is Missing. And we are going to swap over to something else. Something a little more stimulating. Not Mario's Time Machine. So, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to the triangles here. And you got the music still playing. That's really cool. So, all right, I'm going to turn off the system, and we're going to take a little bit of a breather. We're going to take like a little intermission while I decide what it is we are going to do next. We're probably going to stick to Super Nintendo, so something along those lines. So in the meantime, I'm going to bring back the Raldi slideshow, and we're going to be right back after these messages. I will see you guys in a few minutes. Alright, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That was nice little respite. And I have chosen our next game that we're going to play through real quick. This might actually be... I think I might actually end the stream after this game because I'm getting kind of hungry and I kind of want to get some dinner, honestly. Maybe this wasn't the best time to do this, but you know. I feel like I'm going to have to continue Mario is Missing another time. And like I said, I don't want to jump into Mario's Time Machine. I'm not really feeling it. But I do want to keep up with the time travel motif. So instead, we are going to be playing a rather timely game. A game that's very near and dear to my heart. And a game that also is getting a new re-release in the next little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, let us jump to our next game. Let us turn off the music real quick. And, yeah. Let's jump in. Let's play a game that's not boring and very stimulating. Watch me get trademarked with this music. Also, yeah, epilepsy warning on this one. Let's play Turtles in Time instead. A much far better time travel game than Mario's Time Machine. A game that is actually really fun, and a game that I think a lot more people really need to experience. And it's good because Konami actually is re-releasing a lot of Turtles games on modern consoles. And it makes me very happy, so I'm going to play through the game partially in celebration and also just to, you know, recover from the boredom that Mario is Missing did. In fact, because of that, I think we can get rid of you. We don't really need you anymore. Let's bring you back down here. Alright, let's play some Turtles. This is April O'Neil reporting. And Statue of Liberty just gets yeeted. And I pressed the button. Okay, let's just... Never mind, let's just jump right in. Oh my god, I totally forgot to actually do something. Hold on. Sorry, we're going to reset just real quick. Because I need to go to the options real quick. Yes, we are playing Turtles in Time. It's exciting. Because this game's kind of bullcrap if you don't have 7 lives going in. And we're going to stick to normal. Yeah, good to see you, Vance. See you got in. Good old Vanilla Bean, the Ant Pony.
Hey, Stinky!
Mario says you're stinky. Welcome to the stream. Turtles in Time was a game I grew up with. I grew up on beat-em-ups, shooters, and RPGs, basically. And this was one that was a big favorite of the families. Mostly because me and my brothers were big Turtles fans back in the day. This game is split up into, how many levels? 9, I want to say. The game will say like, oh, there's like 10 levels, but there's actually 9. Oh, gotta go. Night all things for the stream. Thanks for coming, Victor. Appreciate that. I did not want to pick that up, but okay. Crap. One of the reasons why this is one of my favorite beat-em-ups is because of all the different creative ways you can actually kill enemies in this one. There's some beat-em-up games where you only really have like one combo attack to go on enemies, but in this one, it gives you a lot of variety. You get like a slide attack and jump kicks. Of course, you have the different turtles with all different weapons, and they all have different stats. They all play differently, which is a very common thing in Turtles games in general. Like, Leonardo's always the well-rounded one. Like, he's usually the one for beginners to pick up and play. I always played as him because he was always my turtle. Michelangelo is fast, but has short range and doesn't have the strongest attack. Raph is really strong, but has really bad range because of the size. Donatello has the most range, the slowest, and he's also not the strongest. So they all have their strengths and weaknesses. It is also very easy for the game to gang up on you, which is kind of stupid. So this game is a lot easier to play multiplayer, so if you can find a friend to play this with, friggin' go for it. Alright, we're up to our first boss, Baxter Stockman. Terminate the titles! Horrible voice, and I'm never doing that again. Guy likes to fly around and shoot down at you. When he's on the ground, it's your best chance to hit him. Actually, hold on a second. I forgot to do something. I actually need to change the stream real quick. Because Twitch still thinks I'm playing Mario is Missing. No, I am not. I am playing Turtles in Time, thank you very much. So we're going to switch that over real quick, like. And... alright, we're good. Go. Follow the scalping and we end the stage with the Cowabunga.
Alley Cat Blues.
Alright, who's ready for a bop and beat? Love throwing them at the screen. And you will need to know how to do that for a certain boss later in the game, because it will be a requirement to know how to throw enemies at the screen. One of the best ways to do crowd control in this game is just keep doing the dive kick. Gets you out of the way, and it can hit multiple enemies at once. And then we got these guys who are really annoying. Pizzas will restore your health, as you probably saw from the last stage. They are very helpful, but only get them when you need them. I know that sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people I've seen play this game and get the pizza at full health. only just to get their butt handed to them during the fights. Get out of here. As also you can tell, different colored foot soldiers will have different weapons. The blue ones will have swords, the orange ones throw kunais. The pink ones are pretty standard, they're just normal. They're just the normal weaponless enemies of Gal. Thanks for leaving a link to graphics. Take me back to my childhood. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's right. And right now I'm getting distracted. That's better. That is a special attack. You spin around in circles. Very helpful. Another pizza. We're going to save that. Yep, we are playing Turtles in Time. Bubba Dude. Also, by the way.
Hey, Stinky!
Get out of here. Alright, boss time. Multiple reasons why we're playing Turtles in Time, mostly because the game is being re-released in a big old Turtles collection later this year that I really freaking want, because it actually has the arcade version of this game, which I've only played once. I thought I had him, crap. There we go, that does it. Stage 2 done. Alright, let's go down to the sewers. This is a bonus stage. This is where you can rack up a ton of points to get a bunch of 1-ups to that will be very helpful later in the game. I apologize if I'm going to be quiet. I gotta kind of gotta stay focused on this one. Watch out for those. Gives you the classic line. My toe, my toe. We got the pizza monster coming out of the water. Also there just for points mostly. Line them up. There we go. 1 up. Beautiful. Well, not great, but I got 1 up out of it. So let's fight the boss. Let's fight the Rat King. A boss who is not in the arcade version of the game. This is exclusive to the Super Nintendo version. And this boss can be a bit annoying, but he's not too bad once you get his patterns down. He says as he gets hit. Yeah, that was my fault. Not even lined up properly. It's gotta be like right in between his missiles when he shoots them to actually deal damage to them. There we go. Stage 3 done. And now to the Technodrome. The Technodrome all ready. Might be a short game if we're already at the Technodrome right now and it's only stage 4.
Technodrome. Let's dish out.
Alright, let's do it. This becomes one of the first annoying stages in the game. And there are, yes, one of them. There's several stages that are pretty annoying. Because it introduces probably my least favorite enemy type. Gotta love that Konami sting. Get out of here. Bouncers are always annoying. They always grab onto you. They don't do a lot of damage, but they can stun you. Really could use that pizza a little earlier. Here they are. Yeah, the salmon-colored foot soldiers will block your attacks. Probably because of their weapon. And they kind of suck. You know what? I'm just gonna head over this way and just do this and cheat. I say cheat, but it's a resource that the game gives me, so I might as well take advantage of it. We are being watched. Get out of here. And now the boss. Toka and Razar. I really needed to add in like the Shredders, their babies from Ninja Turtles 2 onto this because it'd be very fitting. Crap. As you can tell, they both have different kinds of attacks. Toka can shoot ice and freeze you, while Razar can breathe fire. Both suck. These fights are a lot easier with 2 players. Crap. And yeah, the electric door can hurt you, so stay away from there. But once you can take one down, the fight's a lot easier. So usually it's in your best interest to focus on one at a time. Crap. I don't see that animation very often. Alright, and now we got Doggo. It's like the Razar's a wolf, but turns back to a doggy. And level's not done, we're in an elevator now. And we turn into now the game turns into an enemy gauntlet. And my answer. Yeah, thanks for coming, Zadi. Thanks for coming. Hope you had a good time. Because God knows I didn't. I forget how many floors the elevator is. Crap. Get out of here. guys really suck. You need to try and find an opening so you can get them into a combo. Which is a lot easier said than done. Or they can just like hit you up against the wall. There we go. That's the last of them. Let's go fight Shredder. Tonight I dine on turtle soup. Which is the national line for the show. Let's go. So this is in an awkward perspective. But this is also the boss where you need to be really good at throwing enemies at the screen. Which just means get up really close up to them. While avoiding the crosshairs. You can fight as many of these guys as you want, but they're going to keep spawning. But right now I'm just trying to get into a good position to where I'm not in the crosshairs. Ah, crap. Man, Shredder is really mean this time around. Holy crap. Nice little touch is that with the ninja stars or the shurikens, you can actually deflect those. So we beat the game, guys. Short game. Or not. My patience is wearing thin. I'm banishing you to a time warp, from which you will never return. Alright, boys and girls. Time for your actual time left. Your history lesson.
Prehistoric turtle stars.
So we're at 2.5 million BC? There's so many zeros, not enough commas. Alright. This is going to be a stage where we're going to get a game over. I guarantee it, because this stage kind of sucks. When there's not dinosaurs stampeding around. This stage will also introduce us to a new enemy type, which is also kind of annoying to deal with. And we got a 1-up, so that'll help. It'll help a bit, but, you know. Knowing how this stage is going to go, that's not going to be... It's going to be a very short-lived moment. Ah, crap. Now they're carrying big old axes. It's kind of funny when they miss and they just get stuck in the ground. Leaves them open, but they hit hard, so beware. We should be coming across a new enemy type right about now. Yes, stalactites. There we go. There they are. There's the rock soldiers. They take a lot of hits. That's to be expected. And they hit like a train. Ow. Pew! I really love the ability of being able to attack behind you when you're facing the other way. you have no idea how helpful that feature is in a beat 'em up. Oh, I guess I spawned those enemies out. Yes, the bomb can hit other enemies, and it's pretty nice. It's quite nice indeed. Whoop! But the dinosaurs can also run over them too, which is great. So it might just be in your best interest to avoid them and have them kill themselves. Crap. Doing the hottest right now. There we go. Now we're at the boss, which is... No, not yet. We got more rock soldiers. There we go. And now we get introduced to probably my least favorite boss in the game, Slash. This guy is quite annoying. He is fast, he is deadly, he blocks your attacks, unless you hit him at the right moment. Like if you hit him up in the air, like that, you gotta catch him off guard. Just easier said than done. He also has a certain attack I really hate. He hasn't done it yet, but makes me worried. That's the attack! Oh my gosh, this is... Frack! Dang it! Ah! He had one freaking bar of health left. And now because of all that, I gotta start at the beginning of the stage. So I hope you like this stage because we're doing it again. That is absolutely frustrating. And I was doing good too. That was actually one of the more better fights with Slash. Because he was actually kind of nice that time around. He wasn't doing that spinning attack as often as he used to. Get out of here. Out of here. Oh wait. Honestly, my least favorite kind of enemies in this game, are the ones that can block, like these guys, and Slash. Crap. I got hit as soon as I was just like looking over at the chat to check something, but nope. I had to do it. I had to do it at the wrong freaking time. I need to work on my speech. Fun fact, I used to suck at talking so much as a kid, I was forced to take speech classes in elementary school to just learn how to talk properly. Why did I tried to dash forward and he didn't dash. I'm not even gonna bother. Gonna work that time. Couldn't have the bombs hit him this time, but last time, of course. Consistency. Frank. Come on. Come on. Get out of here. There we go. Ooh, dinos. Works for me. I'm trying to save that pizza for when I really need it. Which I guess is now. I'm okay with despawning though. That works for me. Alright, Slash, let's dance. Let's dance like gentlemen. Your history, slime balls. Oh yeah, I forgot to point out, during the Metalhead fight in Stage 2, there was actually a typo, where instead of slime balls, it said slim balls. There are some really weird typos in this game I don't think exist in the arcade version. If you hit him in the air, that'll get you to a good, that'll let you get a good combo on him. But when he does that, that's very hard to avoid. It's doable, but it's very hard. The problem is that he does it so fast and he does it when you least expect it. Crap. Yes! A little too soon for that, but I'll take it. And now we warp. So that was our dinosaur expedition. And now we go to Pirate Ship. Skull and Crossbones, probably another somewhat annoying stage. But this stage is only really annoying for one reason. And that reason is not the music, because this stage music is really freaking good. This level introduces us to the Arch Foot Soldiers. They're not too bad at all. Archer enemies in beat 'em ups are generally pretty nice because they only shoot once and then they go off screen. But sometimes they show up when you don't expect them, and you find yourself in their line of fire, which is kind of annoying. But it also introduces us to the Frisbee guys. I don't really know what else to call them except Frisbee guys. They'll throw spiky Frisbees at you. These guys are another one of the more annoying enemy types. Always go for the Frisbee guy because he's annoying and he's a jerk. And watch out for those as well, because there's a lot of slapstick involved in this stage. Like rock soldiers running you over. A classic gag. You can throw the rock soldiers and it's super satisfying when you can. But they also spin you around like that, which is kind of silly. Get them to one side. You don't want to be in between them. Good job, Leo. Proud of you. I'm not gonna waste that thing on the archers. But alright, that does it. I will use it on these guys. This is another stage that's just a testament that this game is a lot better and a lot easier with more than one player. Woohoo! Ha! Got a pizza there, we gotta save that, and I believe this part has 2 enemy waves? And one of them includes 2 Frisbee guys. You do not want them on the same plane. Especially when they don't catch it and it goes like behind them, it's really weird. We should have gone for the pizza, but we're gonna need the pizza for the boss. And we're not at the boss yet because it's these guys with big old guns and stuff. Screw it, I need that pizza. Alright, boss time. Bebop and Rocksteady. This is an interesting boss. There's 2 of them, kind of like Tokka and Razar, except you only need to fight one of them. You only really need to beat one of them to beat both of them. And they're both really annoying because they have both long-range weapons. And they both hit hard. Rocksteady is the one that I've usually had the most trouble with, and he's usually the one I go for. I'm gonna try and see if I can beat this on 1 health bar. Crap. Bad, bad, bad. You can get him stuck like that, and that'll give you an opening. Yes! Booyah! Whew, that was close. Cowabunga indeed, Leo. I'm actually kind of surprised I pulled that off. Alright, let's fall to another time period.
Where my shot? Wounded knee.
Alright, let's go to 1885. Another rockin' song. And more weapons for you to have fun with, like barrels that you can kick at enemies. nice. Sounds 16-bit horse galloping. Get out of here. One up. Thank you. I could use that. I could probably beat this stage in one go, because the stage is harder than the boss. The boss is not that hard in this one. Now they got big ol' girders with them. Whee! Okay, I guess that works. Watch out for the barrels. How are you not dead? Thank you. Yeah, new enemy types with like the chain, blade, sickle things. I forget what they're called. There's a specific term for them, and it's escaping me. Oh boy, bombs and other explosives. Wonder what that does. Makes my life a little easier. What also brings out a big guy with a bazooka. So, you know. Ow. So, you know. You win some, you lose some. Get out of here. More barrels! Yes, April, I know. I believe this is boss. Alright, let's go. Leatherhead. Oh, goody! Fresh turtles for lunch! This guy is not too bad. He does that, which is annoying. But other than that, he crawls around, throws lobsters at you, which are pretty easy to avoid. Charges at you again, tries to punch, misses, crawls again, throws another lobster. Throws knives, which are also pretty easy to dodge. For being a boss pretty late in the game, he's actually quite easy. In comparison. Alright, so that's last bar. Crap. There we go. Falls off the train. And we win. Teleport. Alright, now to make a joke that I can't really make anymore because it's the wrong year. We're going to the future!
Neon Knight Riders.
We're going to the year of the future, AD 2020. For reference, this game came out in 92. So they thought that 2 years ago, cities would look like this and we would have hoverboards. Another Back to the Future 2. But this is another bonus stage, similar to the sewer stage. This is just get as many kills as you can and get as much points as you can. But otherwise, it's another pretty easy stage. But that will change next stage, because next stage is pretty annoying. I mean, at the same time, you gotta give it credit for at least some accuracy. The circles are pizzas. And they always put them like in between two mouths, so it's really hard to get done. But as I was saying, they did do one thing that was somewhat accurate. For 2020, the roads are empty. Which probably means people are not going places. So at least that was accurate. I'll give it that. Alright, let's see if I can beat this boss on 1 health bar too. Trying to fight a boss that's been suspiciously absent from the show, or a character from the show who's been suspiciously absent from this game. Let's fight Krang. Face the Wrath of Super Krang! I really need to work on my Krang voice. This boss is a little more annoying than Leatherhead, but it's only because of that. Just stay out of his line of fire, get down on a lower plane. Not like what I just did. Don't follow my example, I'm a bad example. I'm a bad influence on people. And avoid these. Very similar to Rat King. Yes! You're going to pay! Pew! One more warp. Now we're leaving the future of 2020. And we're going to Mars, it looks like.
Starbase, where no turtle has gone before.
To the year 2100. A year that I probably will not live to see, unfortunately. Nor many of us, probably. So I'm afraid we're not going to be able to see this star base on Mars. This is the hardest stage of the game, but it also has my favorite theme in the game. So I guess you win some, you lose some again. Because this level goes on for a while. And everything annoying about this game is thrown at you. All the annoying enemy types and everything. Crap, I didn't want to do that, but alright. Crap. You always want to try and go for the little small metal electrical enemies because they're ranged and those things hurt. Now we got nunchucks. These were from an earlier stage. There's a lot of them here. I almost wonder if I should just kill myself, because I'm going to start from the beginning of the stage anyway, so I wouldn't want to start too far ahead. Or I wouldn't want to get too far just to go all the way back. Especially when I have 1 hit point left. I don't know. Never give up, never surrender. Something like that. Something that Peppy would say in Star Fox. Because he does. And now we're dead. Right in front of a pizza, too. That is insult to injury. Alright.
Starbase, where no turtle has gone before.
Alright, let's go at it again. Really? I didn't get any of them? Any of those stupid, drones? Or whatever they were supposed to be? Here. Again, sorry for the silence. I'm just focusing on the game. Crap! I was trying to despawn you. All right, this part is always fun. Guess what? You're not supposed to stand. Ah! Like I said, this stage is plenty annoying. And I hate these boomerang guys. Or frisbee guys. So much. Boomerang frisbees, that's what they are, I guess. There might be a proper word for those, but I don't know. Crap. Oh, these things. Little balls. Use those to your advantage. Oh, hello. Throw him. Yeah. That's how we do this around here. Now we have fire. Come on. Keep him back there. Oh, those things. Ah! I love enemies with these long-range weapons. Down to my last hit point. Oh, hello! That was bad placement. Bad placement. Meanwhile, these guys are immune to the electric. I don't think so. We are getting close to the end, though. Before that, we got more rock soldiers. Alright, let's fight Crane for real now. With Shredder in the background. Your shell heads are dead! Bubbles! He attacks by putting you in bubbles. And you have a very funny sprite as a result of it. This fight is actually not terrible for being the penultimate final boss. Really, the bubbles are the biggest thing for you to worry about. He does raise in height every now and then, which is a bit annoying. So it's inconsistent, so sometimes you have to jump and hit him. But most of the time, he kind of sticks towards the ground, and you can still attack him while you're on the ground. And again, like on beat 'em ups, it's your placement on the plane is very, very important. Crap. Crap. This is where the fight does get a little annoying when he starts dropping these things. And the only way to damage him is when he's doing that. And now he's body slamming me. Come on. Crap. Come on, I'm so close. And that's it. Beautiful. That holds our way home. Let's go. But no cowabunga for this stage, because we're going right to the final boss. And then before we do that, one more for all time's sake.
Technodrome, the final shell shock.
1992, present day, or supposedly present day. Present day to before I was born. It's kind of hilarious how the only year in this game I've lived through was 2020. Alright, he's become Super Shredder. Turtle Soup, my favorite. He has 3 attacks, depending on what color he is. Green will have him shoot a Hadouken at you and turn you into like a little baby chibi turtle. It's actually super cute. Blue is where he will shoot above you, like shoot at 45-degree angle up. Red, he will shoot fire along the ground. So you gotta remember that when it's red, you jump. And when it's blue, or red and green, you jump. And when it's blue, you don't. But sometimes it is kind of hard to tell what's blue and green because they're very similar colors. And I die. And I think this might be my last continue.
Technodrome, the final shell shock.
Whoops, wrong button. One problem with the control I do kind of have is when you're trying to do a dash attack, you're trying to run, sometimes it doesn't do it because you're supposed to hit forward twice. And it doesn't always read it all the time. Redundancy, isn't it great? I think it's great. Do you think it's great? It's so good. Redundancy. You don't want to get too close to him when he's doing fire, when he's like engulfed in flames as well, because obviously that will hurt. Really? I didn't hit it that entire time. There we go. Get some good hits in. Even though he doesn't have that very many attacks, they're all annoying. And, well, the annoying part is just trying to hit them after you avoid them. Because they're not hard to dodge. But you will say my toe a lot. Come on. There we go. And had to do one more. Cowa frickin' bunga. And since we only beat it on normal, that means we don't get the true ending. Very impressive for such young students. But the final test in your training lies ahead. Defeat the hard mode and you will be true ninjas. Possessive. And Shredder is still out there. He lives another day. Game over. Game time, 35 minutes, 8 seconds. Not my best, but that's Turtles in Time for you. One of my favorite beat 'em ups, and I am super stoked for the Turtles Cowabunga collection, which might actually be a game I might stream. Depends. Alright, and with that wrapped up, let's go ahead. We're going to go back to triangles. That's just what I'm going to call these. Just call these the triangles. Just kind of as my in-between screen. But, honestly, I think I'm going to start calling it here. This was a good stream, honestly. I had a good time. Really good to do this again. I really need to do this more often. My goal is to try and do a stream every month now. I'm not sure when next month is going to be, but I do have a certain stream in mind that I want to do, and I want to do it before May. So it'll probably be sometime in April, like maybe late April, just so it's timely for it, because it's related to something I'm going to be doing in May. And I just want it to be timely for that. But, yeah. But I think Mario's Missing is going to become a little bit of a staple of these streams. I'm going to try and do a floor like each stream. Maybe not next stream, unless you do 2 streams in April. I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling, but yeah, I think I have a good system going. I think I have a good idea of how I want to do streams going forward. And I also don't want to do just video game streams. As much as I like doing game streams, I kind of wanted to add a little bit more variety to it. Like I might stream me doing No Limits and designing roller coasters. That's something I've been thinking about doing. And other stuff as well. But, you know, we'll get to those when we get to those. But for now, I'm going to call it here. I think this was a good stream. I want to thank you guys so much for coming. It really does mean a lot. Hopefully I can do this a lot more consistently and do it more regular. And hopefully get to that ever so envious Twitch partner program. I don't know if we're going to get there quite yet or anytime soon, but I can dream. I'm still going to keep trying. I'm still going to try and improve my streams as I go. But again, a lot of the stream was just kind of experimental with some of the new things I wanted to add to it. So, and I think it went pretty well. You guys feel free to reach out to me if you have like any suggestions or feedback about the stream or anything. But right now, I think I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to get some food because I am starving. And yeah, again, thanks guys for coming. It was a good stream, and I will see you guys later.